Well, welcome back and another week of Talking Technical, and I am flooded with requests regarding Thungela resources. I mean, the momentum players are just so involved in this market. They just believe that the share, if it goes up, it will always go up. And well, it looks like Thungela is just maybe pushing up a little bit harder again. I think about a week or two again, we warned about it that it can maybe pull back, especially with that dividend that they're going to pay out, and don't believe that it just goes up. But I mean, look at this. I mean, we had 5 sessions of down, maybe down to that level of about 309, and within 3 days it is back to 350 rand, and it's on the way of making a brand new high. And where's the new high? Let's have a look here. And I mean, for the momentum traders, you must all sit up and say, listen, Frans, just give us that level. We want to buy it because we want to make money. And this is exactly what's happening. I mean, everybody is just believing that Thungela is always giving us a new high. Because what's happened in the past, it started here at 205. It went up at 259. It came back to 218. It rallied all the way up to 302. It came back to 259. It went up all the way to 358. And now it came back and it's on the way of making a new high. So why will it come back? So, I mean, for all the momentum traders, of course, if you want to chase the momentum, you'll definitely go long, or you will buy above 360.90. That's on the brink of making a new high. And I mean, where's your target? Your target will definitely be a tiny little bounce from there. I mean, there's nothing tiny about Thungela anymore. From 309 to 360, that's about a 50 rand bounce. That should take it to 400 rand. So, well, if you buy it above that, I'm going to give you a stop loss. There's a tiny little gap here that is catching my eye, but nobody will worry about that. I mean, gaps is there to just tell you that the momentum is up and it will never close. That is not true. The truth about gaps is, yes, it is, while it is opening here or open up here, it is a method of strength to tell you that the bulls came in and that they are convinced that the share will go higher. But unfortunately, the negative thing about gaps, it says the rule is quite simple. It's either going to close today or tomorrow or sometimes in future. So I think if you want to use your stop loss, use the low of this candle. Your stop loss will be 310 rand 28. And of course, if it breaks that, there's just no way that the share will stop. It will just fly to 400. But I'm a little bit nervous. It looks like the S&P 500 is struggling. It looks like that some of the commodities are starting to pick up. But I want to tell you one thing. If the big flow of money is flowing out of the markets, the S&P 500 really gets under pressure, there's just no way that our shares will be at this elevated levels. Just a little point. Just keep that in mind. Somebody phoned me the other day and said to me, Frans, but I bought, I think it was Sanlam earlier in the year, and the share is struggling. It doesn't want to go up. What is wrong? And that is the big thing. Liquidity in the world is starting to dry up, and that is putting a dampening effect on shares. But I mean, for the commodities, while coal is in the spotlight because everybody is running into coal now for energy, look at Europe's problems, then these shares can maybe still surprise. But always remember, commodity shares is cyclical, and you will get a time where they get tired and then they can disappoint to the downside. I had a request on Sygnia, IT sector of them, that fourth industrial revolution. That is, it's quite easy. It just tells you that it is an exchange traded fund, and of course it is doing well, and everybody bought it in the past. But unfortunately, with Sygnia on this one, and I mean, Sygnia is a wonderful company. And always remember, I sometimes see that on all these social platforms where they say, but Sygnia had this wonderful product and that made money, and suddenly this one is not making money, and there's something wrong. That's not the truth. The truth is that there's a basket of shares in this exchange traded fund or unit trust. That doesn't matter when you look at a fund or a unit trust or exchange traded fund. There's always a basket of shares in there. And those fund managers decide on those shares because they've got a belief in them. And then if that does not perform well, it doesn't say that Sygnia is bad. It just tells you that the exchange traded fund or that unit trust is underperforming at that point in time. If I look at this, and I mean, remember this was one of the darlings of the market. I mean, in 2019, it was at around 20 Rand 28. And it went up almost in a straight line to 60 Rand, and it's now at 35.48. And of course, that is the big question. Are you in with a unit trust or exchange traded fund for the long term, or are you on the short term? Now, for me personally, if I'm looking at the share or this unit trust, I will say to myself, it needs to consolidate above this line, and I'm going to give you that line, and that is that little line there. And that was initially an inverse head and shoulder. You can see there. There's the left shoulder, there's the head, there's the right shoulder. And for me, why is this level important? This level is important because that was first of all a resistance line. Then it turned into a support and it played out 100% to the T. It reached its target and now it's coming back. So for the investor, for the medium to long term, while this is trading above 38.22, the momentum is still to the upside. In actual fact, you would love it to come back to 38.22 and then move higher and take that resistance out there at 42.40, and then you know that the share or the index can maybe recover quite well. And this is the fourth revolutionary fund of theirs. They've got some beautiful shares in here that, remember, they believe that it can outperform the market or it can do well in future. So it has nothing to do with, yes, it's a bad investment. Remember, it's still your choice. The other day I had someone asking me that he wants to invest in this company. What do I think? I said, well, I can just tell you what the chart is telling me. And the chart is telling me at that certain point, it can go higher. It's for you to decide if you are happy with the investment. And the same here. If you are happy with the basket of investments that they've got here, then you stick to it. But for me, as a technical chartist, I say above 38.22, it looks good to me. It doesn't say that it can go lower. It just says it can stay above that 38.22. It's positive. And when will I get nervous? When you take out this low. And there's the low. I just want to show you. There's the low. The low is sitting at 34.13. Below 34.13, it just shows you that the momentum is to the downside, and then you've got a high, you've got a lower high, you've got a lower high, you've got a lower low coming into play, and that tells you that the momentum can still be to the downside. Let us look at the platinum price in dollar terms. And this tells you that the momentum is still purely to the downside, and that there's pressure on the platinum price. And of course, we always know that the weaker rand helped the platinum buyers. If you look at the platinum price, there you are. I will put in that resistance line. I mean, it sounds like it's a stupid method, but it's a method that works for me. There's the resistance. And what do I see? If I do the support lines, I combine that. There you are. And for me, what do we see? We see a falling wedge. Now, the moment I'm seeing a falling wedge, I'm positive, and the reason why I'm positive, because when it can break above 903, we can maybe see a move back to 965 and even back to that elusive $1,000. Where's my stop loss? My stop loss is at 827. So what I say is, when I see a chart like this, if I look at the commodity, immediately I will go and look at some of the platinum shares, and I will say, wow, I like it. Or on the other hand, I'll just wait for them to break there, and by then you'll probably have some beautiful reversal candles in place so that you can find a place where to buy them. I'm sure this is the chart that outperformed this year. This is the dollar index. And what is the dollar index? The dollar index is the chart that shows the strength of the American dollar to other currencies. I mean, look at this. From about May 2021, it came from 90 and it's on its way, and it's now at 109. It just shows you that the momentum to buy the US dollar is just so strong that everybody is rushing to the American dollar to almost get you, say, find protection or find a safe haven. What I see is, I see an ugly lamp pole formation. And as you all know, a lamp formation always makes me nervous. But on the other hand, while the momentum is up, the dollar buyers will just say, we buy dollars and we cannot go wrong. In actual fact, if you take this back, you will see this chart is way to the top. I mean, it took out the high there. There was the high. Can you believe it? At 103.57. That was in July 20. It took out that. It's way above that. And for me, I think we'll soon see either a correction, or if it goes higher, the dollar will remain strong. For me personally, where's the first sign of weakness on this chart? And that will be below this line. And that line is sitting at 107.87. When it gets below 107.87, suddenly you will see that all the other currencies, like the rand, or the euro, or the pound, will suddenly start to strengthen. And this is the chart that I'm looking at. And I think this chart is a reflection of investors that are fearful of the market. They're running to the dollar. They're hoping for those higher interest rates. But for me, I think watch this level, because if this level turn around and suddenly the rand strengthen, yes, the commodities will also strengthen then again. The rand will strengthen, and it will maybe help us a lot on the side of inflation and all those other things. But at the moment, I cannot see that you can control the world's inflation with a strong dollar. A strong dollar, in actual fact, creates inflation. It does not help to make it lower, because why? Everybody does business in the American dollar. So that's strange. But thank you for watching the show. Visit our website, www.fransdeklerk.com, for more info. And we will chat again. And by the way, we hope that the rand is going to get stronger, because then we can see some relief at the shops.